What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Game Week FC. My name is Travis. This is my brother Parker. What you're looking at on the screen is our Week 37 bets. I went 7-3. Parker, you went 5-5. Overall records now, I am 177 wins, 176 losses, 17 pushes. Parker, you are 171 wins, 186 losses, and 13 pushes. Wow. I mean, it's been a crazy season, guys. We're rounding out to the last week. We both hit our best bets. Everton the scorer first, and Jared Bone shot on goal.
Yeah, that has not happened too many times this season. So good mojo going into the final week. Down 6, still within striking distance, I would say. But it's a long shot. But we'll see what I've got cooked up this week.
Yeah. I'm pretty upset about my about my picks. Honestly, I should have just picked Villa or tie because that satisfied the under minus 200. I just added under 40 on under 4.5 just for because I was trying to be complex. But and then the Man U Nottingham Forest game. I mean, it was I want to say it was 2-1 in like the 90th minute or 88th minute, and then they scored the fourth and something like that. And then Arsenal minus 5.5 corner spread I just didn't like in the first place. So, but it's a pretty solid week. Let's get started with our very last prediction here.
Last bets of the
Crystal
year.
Palace, Arsenal. It's gonna be a crazy weekend. I can't wait.
It
I know,
is, and I wish that the title was coming down to the final day, but alas, Arsenal are Premier League champions, which was my prediction at the beginning of the year. So we've hit that one. However, I think that Arsenal are going to
was, yeah.
sit some people, and I've got Crystal Palace double chance here.
Yeah, that's funny you say that. I've really gone back and forth. So you have a minus 105. That's a pretty good deal. It's really tough to gauge because Crystal Palace have not. Yeah, I agree with you. They haven't lost at home in I think their last 9 games in all competitions. Looks like you just. I knew his connection was not very good, but yeah, I don't disagree with that. They've been playing really well at home as of late, and but they do have a game, a European final, like 3 days after this game against Arsenal, and Arsenal are playing in the Champions League a week later. So I genuinely don't know what to go with here. I think I'm going to be a little safer, and I'm going to go with Palace +1. So, yeah, I knew your connection was kind of spazzy, Parker.
Yep, sorry about that.
But it's all good. I was just talking. Crystal Palace or tie. I'm going something similar here. I'm going to go Crystal Palace +1, just for a little bit of safety.
I like it. Kind of on
Moving
the
on to
same boat there.
Liverpool versus. Yeah. Do you want to change yours to the Crystal Palace +1?
Nope, I like double chance. I think Arsenal kind of choke a little bit.
All right.
Um, this is
I
one
don't
of
know
the
what
few
your
games that
plan
actually
is, but
matters.
somewhat, yeah. Uh, I think Liverpool. Do they have that fifth spot locked up? Do they not? I feel like goal differential. They're fine.
Um,
Anyways, I'm going Brentford. Regardless, I'm going Brentford +1. Their XG and XGA, expected goals against, has been superior to Liverpool's in the last 5 games. And I know they just walked on by Man City last time they played an away game, and then they tied Palace at home. But I think Brentford, because they still have an outside shot at Europe, I think they will do their best. Liverpool continue to be overrated, in my opinion. Brentford +1.
All right. So I did just confirm Liverpool's goal difference is enough. They've got 6 to spare ahead of Bournemouth. So that alters my pick a little bit. I initially had Liverpool. You know what? I'm going to stick with it. Liverpool money line. Mohamed Salah's last game. Anfield's going to be buzzing. Liverpool to win.
I don't mind that. Another thing that I really like is over. Wow, over 9.5 is -200. Are you crazy? Over, yeah, over 9.5 corners. I really like that. Both teams are in the top, or let's see, both teams in the top 6 for most corner kicks in the last 5 games. Brentford have had 30, Liverpool have had 27. So if you want to find maybe a little bit more value, you can go Brentford over 4.5 or most corner kicks. You can go Brentford +310. That'd be some outside plus money shots there, but I'm gonna stick with my Brentford +1. I think it's good enough. Next up, we got Sunderland versus Chelsea. I don't know how Sunderland still have a chance to make it into Europe, but they do. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I have to back Sunderland here, playing at home.
Yeah, this was a game I was really unsure of, because of that reason. And Chelsea also are not necessarily guaranteed Europe either. It's very tight between really sixth to what 10th. Um, so I end up going with Chelsea corner kick money line.
Ooh,
I think that they sort of carry the attack to Sunderland, who prefer to play on the counter anyway.
ooh, okay. That was one of my notes that I had. Um, yeah, this is really interesting. I do like Sunderland or tie, but Chelsea have been playing better. Chelsea corner kick money line is really interesting. They've had the fifth most in the last 5 games, whereas Sunderland they've had the 18th most. So basically second or third to last, second to last. Another thing I considered was Chelsea to concede first, Sunderland first goal. Crazy stat here. Chelsea have conceded first in 66.6% of their away games this season. That's kind of scary.
Wow.
Uh, and I don't know if I trust Sunderland corner. I mean, I think I'm gonna go double chance Sunderland. I think I have to respect Sunderland at home. I think I have to respect it.
Stadium of Light, difficult place to play.
Yeah, but both teams have been playing really well, honestly. All
Chelsea.
right. Oh yeah, sorry. Brighton versus Man United. I don't know how I feel about this game.
Then I will take the reins here. Bruno Fernandes to score or assist. I really want to take him assist straight up, but I think that he breaks the Premier League record and ties Messi and Muller for the most assists in a season all time, with I believe it's 21. assists. So that is my bet. Not much else going on in this game. I guess Brighton need to win for Europe, but
Yeah, I want to back Brighton, I really do, but after last weekend, in which they sold the game against Leeds, I don't know how they're gonna emotionally yeah, I don't know how they're gonna be emotionally for this game. I mean, United have nothing to play for, and that's dangerous because they could still just go out there and play freely and really do whatever. Let's see, over 3.5, under 3.5. I'll tell you who has a really good goal scoring record against Man United is Mr. Danny Welbeck. But last time I backed Mr. Welbeck, he
blanked.
failed me, so blanked. Yeah, so I'm gonna go. These teams have had really similar XG, XGA. Brighton have actually been the better team overall in the last 5 games. Let's see what that's minus 225. It's unbelievable. Come on. Brighton most corners is a way to go as well. I guess I'll go. I don't know if over 2.5. I guess I'll do over 2.5 goals and Brighton or tie.
All right.
I just think there's going to be a lot of goals in this game.
I agree with that sentiment for sure.
What's
I,
both teams? What teams? 250. Maybe instead of 2.5, maybe I'll do both teams to score and Brighton. That's minus 125. I like that.
all right. I love when you pick
Fulham,
double. I love
Newcastle.
I love when you pick double because
You
there's a
like
higher chance of you losing,
not hitting.
and I need all the points I can accumulate this week if there is to be a
Yeah, we'll
comeback.
see. Hopefully not. Fulham versus Newcastle.
Yeah, this game means absolutely nothing. Um, However, William Masula has been on fire. He's had a shot on target in 5 of the last 6 and is averaging over the last 3 over half a goal per XG. So I want to take him to have 1+ shot. Dang, it's minus 245 on here. All right, give me. I have a feeling it was minus 200 on Hard Rock. Let's do 2 shots. He's had he's hit that mark in 2 of the last 3.
Hmm. All right. This is difficult. This week is really hard to predict. Like there isn't a lot of things that I really love. Fulham have been absolutely terrible in the last few weeks. I think I'm gonna take Tino bet Newcastle. I just Newcastle have scored 2 goal. I mean, Fulham have scored 2 goals in the last 5 games, and their xG and their xG has not been very good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Tino bet Newcastle. Newcastle have not lost in the last 3 games. They seem like they're on a roll at the moment. City versus Villa. Villa coming off of a big Europa League final win. Unai Emery is a master winning the Europa League. Geez. Once again, it's so difficult. Are Villa going to be hungover from the
Absolutely.
Europa League, or are they going to be come into this game ready to go? I don't know. Um, I guess I'll go City first half money line.
I like that. I think this can be party atmosphere. Guardiola's last game at the Etihad. It's going to be emotional. I think City are going to be playing freely. There's no stress on them. Uh, like you said, Villa, they're going to be hungover. I've gone for Manchester City team total over 2.5. I think this is
Hmm.
the City are going to paint a masterpiece for Guardiola's last match in charge. I think it's going to be a thrashing.
Hmm. All right. That is. I think it's going to be a good game. I think there's going to be a lot of goals. I think both teams will score is a good play in this game. I think it's going to be like over 3.5 goals, honestly. But I'm going to stick with my City money line just because they are the best first half team in the league. Um, I've been hammering that all season. Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth. This is one of the games I like a little bit more. I'm gonna go Bournemouth to score the first goal. Hear me out. No, I mean tying up at Bournemouth is feels like a very safe play, but I feel like going out on a limb here just because these stats are so fascinating. Um, Forest have conceded first in 66.7% of their home games this season. That's tied for worst in the league. Meanwhile, Bournemouth have scored first in 55.5% of their away games. That's second best in the league. So we got, and plus, Bournemouth just have way more motivation. So I'm going to take Bournemouth to score first, minus 150.
Beautiful. Um, I am going to take another player prop in this one. Morgan Gibbs White to score or assist. This is his last chance to sort of cast his name into the ballot for the World Cup roster for England. And I think that he forces Tuchel into a tough decision by another great performance down the stretch here.
Mm, that's not a bad pick. I like that. Should be a really interesting game. Curious to see how Forest come out. All right, Burnley versus Wolves. This is a similar pick as the Bournemouth game. I'm going first goal, Burnley, minus 120. Hear me out. Wolves have scored. Wolves have only scored first in one of their away games this season. That's 5.6% of their away games they've scored first. And you want to know what team they played in which they scored first? Tottenham. That's the only game that they've scored first in away from them. Isn't that funny?
That's
So
funny.
Burnley Burnley aren't the best. They scored first in only 22.2% of their home games, but yeah, I'm just gonna throw that out there.
All right. Quite frankly, this game should not even be televised. Um, I think it's going to suck. The only thing that I liked in this one was under 2.5 goals. I just think that both teams are on the beach and they just want the season to be over. Next season, this will be a marquee matchup in the championship. But yeah, we're done with these teams for a while now, and I'm happy about it. Good riddance.
Yeah. It's not a bad pick, but mind you, last time they played, it was a 3-2 shootout in which Burnley won at Wolves.
Yeah,
Um,
remember that, but I think that at that point in the season, it was okay. We're both bad. This is an opportunity where we can actually, you know, get something out of this game. When they all still
yeah,
thought that
that's true.
maybe they, could stay up. Now this is a completely different scenario.
That's true. That is true. All right, Tottenham versus Everton. I mean, this is a tough game to predict. Tottenham have conceded first in 61% of their home games this season. Tottenham have seen over 2.5 goals in 67% of their home games this season. That's the third most. Um, Over 2.5 and 50% of their last 8 games. Everton have had over 2.5 goals in 88% of their last 8 games. Am I going to take over 2.5? I'm actually not. I'm going to take the under. Tottenham defensive metrics have improved. Their XGA is actually the second best in the league in the last 5 games. And overall, there have only been over 2.5 goals in 39% of Everton away games this season. That's actually the lowest percentage in the league. So I'm going to go with under 2.5. It's going to be a grinding game. Tottenham, of course, are going to have nerves. Everton, a good enough defense to hold off Tottenham. But yeah, let's do it.
Yep, I'm going Spurs to stay up. Um, what is Tina bet on here for Spurs?
Minus 230.
Okay. Well, give me the money line. Spurs win and stay up, and this all eyes will be on this game. It's going to be so dramatic. I can already see it. It's either going to be 1-0 or a 3-2 shootout. 96-minute
Yeah.
Paulinho winner. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely nervous about this under 2.5. My unders have not been the best lately, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like the games that have high stakes in them will typically be low scoring. Like this game, West Ham leads. Oh man,
See, I disagree on this one. Um, we saw we've seen all season when West Ham try to attack and take the game to the opponent and play on the front foot, they're absolutely left wide open at the back. And Leeds have been very good recently. Um, so I've got both teams to score. I was too scared to pick a result here, but gone both teams to score.
mm. Yeah, this is kind of. I don't know who's going to be pressing more. I mean, I think West Ham will learn from this past week in which they came out really aggressive. I think they're going to start this game a little more, um, maybe sit back. I think they're just going to be a little bit more careful in this first half. Man, under 1.5 first half goals. I do have a fun stat here. West Ham have scored first in 44.4% of their home games, which is pretty good for a side that's looking like they're going to get relegated. Leeds have actually conceded first in 61% of their away games this season. That's second
Hmm.
worst in the league. I think I'm going to go West Ham to score first. Uh, I
Man,
mean,
wouldn't that,
yes, Leeds have had a. Dude, I know, right?
can you imagine
I'm kind of the nerves.
the nerves, but specifically the nerves in Tottenham? I can just see the
Yeah,
camera panning
dude,
around all their fans, seeing the score.
I know it's gonna be. I would love to see it. I kind of feel like it's very. I'm surprised that West Ham are actually like this favored in this game. Don't you think it's weird
Yeah, I agree.
based on how well Leeds have been playing? Um, it's bizarre that West Ham are this favored. Um, but honestly, I actually think that West Ham have a better maybe attack. Like I don't know than Leeds. Leeds are just a very together team, and they have been playing really well lately. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with West Ham first goal. Um, so that's what I'm gonna go with. Let's see. That is our last game of the week. Parker, what's your favorite bet of the weekend?
There's so many different ways I can go here, um, but I think I'm going to go with Bruno Fernandes to score or assist.
Hmm.
I think he
All right.
breaks the Premier League record.
All right. Don't mind that. I'm gonna go with my Bournemouth to score first prediction. Bournemouth to score first. Love it. Um, but yeah, that's all we got for you guys in this video. Make sure you lock it in. Um, yeah, hopefully we go 10-0 this
I need to
weekend.
go 10-0. I need you to go 4-6 at least.
You never, you never know. You never know. But all right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. As always, last game of the season. Parker and I we're after the season's over, we're gonna work on a little World Cup action for you guys. So stay tuned for that. But by then, make sure you like, subscribe, all that jazz. We appreciate all of our subscribers. As always, adios, Parker.
Adios. Come on, you Spurs.
Good luck, everybody.